Hi, welcome to Katrina's Creations. You're not seeing things, and it's not Saturday. I'm doing a midweek check-in. If you remember last episode, which was episode 65, I told you that I wanted to do a sock knitting experiment. And so I've started it, and I thought I would show you my progress and what I've discovered so far. I had 4 socks that were little shorty socks that I had knitted a while back, and they all came out too big. So I ripped all 4 socks apart, and I'm kind of doing a test knitting 4 socks 3 different ways, and I want to do some comparisons. So the yarn I'm using, so that it's a controlled experiment, I'm using DK weight yarn. I don't remember what kind this is. I think it's Patons. If I remember rightly, it's Patons. But it is a DK weight yarn, and I'm doing the blueberry waffle sock, which is what we are doing for our sock along. So I'm just going to keep using that same pattern, since I know that that pattern I have plenty of yarn to do all 4 socks with. So I'm using the same yarn for all 4 socks, and I'm using the same needle size. I've dropped down, because they were so large last time, I've actually dropped down in my needle size to a size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle. So let me show you my progress so far. First, I have my first sock on 9-inch circulars, which is what I'm the most comfortable with. And I just have the cuffs done so far, and you can see pretty much how it looks there. And like I said, this is what I normally do my socks on, so this is what I'm most comfortable with. Then I'm using DPNs, and these are short DPNs. They're maybe 5 inches. I like these better than the long DPNs. The last time I tried knitting a pair of socks using DPN needles, they were large needle. They were the larger version. I think they were about maybe 8 inches, 7 or 8 inches long. And I was a fairly new knitter the first time I tried my socks with the DPN. I had a disaster. It looked like a yarn porcupine. It was awful. I had the needles going every which direction. This time it's working pretty good. It was a little hard for me getting the first row going, just making sure I didn't have any twists or anything. But once I got them on the needles and got started, it went fine. And here's what it looks like. And you can see that the tension seems to be pretty much the same between these two. In fact, the socks almost match identically at this point. But you can see my tension seems to be staying pretty much the same on both socks. Then we have the other 2 socks that I am doing, and these I am knitting 2 at a time, which I have tried before. The last time I tried knitting 2 socks at once, I ended up with 1 sock and 1 socklet, because I lost track of which sock I was on. And again, the last time I tried this, I was a fairly new knitter. So this is how far I've gotten. I have 2, like I said, 2 going at once. I have these on 2 circular needles. The hardest thing I found with this was getting started, just trying to finagle till I kind of got into the feel of what I needed to do. I did watch several tutorials, and the one I found the most helpful was the Knitting Expat. That's Mina Phillip. She did a tutorial on how she does socks. And she actually knits her cuffs on DPNs and then transfers them to this. I didn't do that. I did knit the first 3 rows on DPNs and then transfer to this, because with all of this circular needles hanging down, if I had shorter circular needles to be fooling with this, it would maybe be a little bit easier, but these were just some that I happen to have, because my other 1-inch ones are between the DPNs and the 9-inch needles. So, yeah, these are a little long to be doing this with, but yeah, I'm making it work. It's going pretty fast. The hardest thing that I'm finding is remembering that the front needles only knit on the front needles, the back needles only knit on the back needles. Otherwise, you literally will knit them right off of your needles. And I keep getting the yarn here tangled up, not so much on the balls themselves, but tangled between the front and the back needles. But the interesting thing I have found, my tension for some reason is actually tighter with this. If you look at this, let's see if I can get this close enough, you can see how tight that is woven. I actually like how this looks. And then this is my 9-inch circulars, which they look similar, but I can definitely see a difference. Trying to get these the best I can. Maybe if I hold one right below the other one. The 9-inch circular is what is below. Get my hands out of the way. They look similar on camera, but when I look at them up close, I can definitely see that there is not a whole lot of difference, but there is a definite difference in the tensions. And you can see it here. You can see this is just the stitches are just a little tighter. They're a little looser down in here. And I'm not really sure why. Like I said, the needles are the same size and everything, but for some reason this seems to be a little bit tighter tension. And I can see it when I try to spread the sock out this way as compared to this way. So this is definitely staying a little tighter, more elasticy, I guess. So anyway, I thought I would share with you how far I've gotten this week with it so far and what I've discovered and learned along the way. If you have not watched my podcast before, I podcast on Saturdays, and right now we are running a sock along where you can knit the pattern we are doing, which is the blueberry waffle sock, or you're welcome to knit any sock you would like, and then go over to my Ravelry group. It's Katrina's Creations, and when you finish your pair of socks, post a picture and tell me a little bit about them. And the drawing will be on March 3rd, 2018, and I will be drawing a winner that has a completed pair of socks in the Ravelry group, and the winner will receive a free pattern off of Ravelry up to $6. I will gift them a pattern up to $6 as the giveaway prize. So again, if you haven't joined our podcast and our knitting group, please do. Please click the subscribe button down below. And otherwise, I will see you on Saturday. Have a great week, everybody.